Hi, my name is Cameron Smith. I'm your instructor for human biology and evolution. And in this class, we're going to go over the evidence that science has developed for the roughly 4 million years of what we call hominid evolution. That is the span of time in which humans and our relatives, our ancestors, changed through time with the result that we see around us today. Almost 6 billion, maybe it's close to 7 billion people on the planet today. We begin 4 million years ago with just a few hominids in East Africa and South Africa, and then suddenly, over a number of millions of years, you have this, in some ways, extremely successful organism. The question is then, how did that happen? What is that evolution? What is that, or what is the story of that evolutionary process? How did that come to be? Now, of course, there are all variety of attempts to explain that. All human cultures have devised myths and so forth to describe that the depth of time and the changes of humanity over time. We're not concerned with those. What we're concerned with here is the scientific perspective. And the scientific perspective begins with, in biology, begins with evolution. And that's what I'd like you to read about this week. If you have the 15th edition of the textbook, I've given you the chapters to read in there. If you have the 17th edition of the textbook, I've given you the chapters to read there. No problem, should be straightforward. So you just simply pick whichever book you've picked up. I'm sorry for the confusion. Take whichever book you've picked up, read the appropriate chapters. It's in your Week 1 learning module. You'll read those chapters, but you'll also read the 2 PDF files that are online. One of them, I think the one to begin with, is the one entitled Teaching Evolution or something like this, in which I describe my method of teaching the evolutionary process as a result of the facts of replication, variation, and selection. You'll see on there that or you'll see in there that evolution is a factual process, again, at the heart of biology. Once you've got that read, I would then look at the second PDF, which is the article called Getting the Monkey Off Darwin's Back. This one goes through and dispels some of the most common myths about the evolutionary process. Then go through and have a look at the articles in the textbook. And then your first assignment is to describe the evolutionary process, but through the perspective or using one non-domesticated life form as an example. And so I would say pick your favorite mammal, just to make it easy, or reptile, doesn't matter. Pick a non-domesticated animal, one that lives and breeds in the wild, let's say rhinoceros. Describe for me replication as it occurs in that species. Then describe variation. What are their sexual habits? Replication is reproduction. So what is it like? How do the male and female find each other? What are the variables involved with their world of replication? And then talk about variations. What kind of, if you have a number of rhinoceros offspring, the question is how do they vary? They're not clones, and you'll see that in the various articles. But they're not clones. There's variation out there in the offspring, and of course that variation is what is selected upon. Selection is the fact that the natural environment does not permit, essentially, all offspring to survive. It is offspring with particularly useful characteristics, or characteristics that are a little bit better adapted to its environment than the characteristics of its siblings. That's what allows it to survive. And over evolutionary time, the properties of a species change because there is selection on the variation, and variation is a result of replication. If you're confused by that, don't worry. Read the first paper first and then come back and think about this again. Once you've understood, or once you see evolution as the result, the unintended result of replication, variation, and selection, you can then go through, I think, quite easily, pick an animal, describe replication, describe variation, and describe selection in that species, and that's your first assignment for this week, or your assignment for this work this week, and the first assignment for the class. All right, I think that's it. I want to get this online rather quickly just to clear up any issues that you have. Keep in mind we're going to be going right through the whole span of human biology and evolution, as the class says. We begin with the principles of evolution, then we'll get into the microscopic, micro-scale, small-scale principles of evolution, that is the DNA molecule, the molecule of heredity. And then we'll go up to larger structures. For example, we'll look at fossil material. Here's the jaw of Homo erectus, a hominid that we'll become well acquainted with. We'll go up to the fossil material. We'll also look at the various primates and in fact find the location of hominids, humans even, in the primate order. That is, we fit into a larger picture of a biological grouping called the primate order. The question is, well, how is it that we fit in there? What are we like and what are we unlike in the roughly 200 species of primates? So we'll be going through a whole sweep from very small to large and even into populations. We'll also be doing an examination of a great time depth, again, roughly 4 million years of this hominid evolution. All right, good. I'll put this online and email me at the website with any questions you might have.